Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on a tool that is an absolute game changer for automation, the webhook. Now, I know that word sounds a little technical, maybe a little intimidating, but stick with me. By the end of this, you'll see exactly how it unlocks a whole new level of speed for pretty much any project you can think of.
So let me just ask you this straight up. Are you tired of your automations feeling, well, slow? You know the feeling, right? Well, of course there is. And this is where our hero steps in, the webhook node. See, instead of your workflow constantly pulling for data, a webhook lets other apps push information to you the very second something happens. It is the simple, elegant solution to that whole waiting problem we were just talking about. So what is it, really? Let's get the official definition out of the way. A webhook node, at its core, is a special node that gives you a unique URL. Think of it like a personal web address. When another app sends data to that specific address, your workflow kicks off immediately. No delay. That's it.
But forget the jargon for a minute. The best way to think about it is like this. It's three things rolled into one. It's a dedicated door that lets data right into your workflow. It's the trigger that instantly starts everything up. And it's a data receiver that catches all the information being sent. A door, a trigger, and a receiver. Simple.
Okay, that sounds great in theory, but how does this all actually work under the hood? Let's break down the mechanics. And trust me, it's a surprisingly simple process that gets data from point A to point B in, well, a flash.
And this lays out the entire flow perfectly. First, your workflow generates that unique URL just for you. Second, you copy that URL and paste it into another application, let's say your online store or a form builder. Third, and this is the magic part, when something happens in that app, like a new sale, it immediately sends all the details right to your URL. And finally, boom, the moment that data hits, your workflow starts. No waiting, no checking, just instant action.
So you're probably wondering, okay, what kind of stuff can I send through this thing? And the answer is pretty much anything. Seriously. Simple text and numbers? Sure. But also complex JSON, entire files, form submissions, payment details, user messages for a chatbot, you name it. If an app can send it, a webhook can catch it. All right, enough theory. Let's see how this actually works in the real world. We're going to walk through three super common examples where webhooks are the secret sauce behind some really powerful automations.
First up, let's talk about money. Specifically, automating what happens right after you get paid. This is a must-have for anyone who runs a business online.
So picture this. A customer buys something from you using Stripe. The very instant that payment is confirmed, Stripe sends all the transaction details to your webhook URL. Your workflow catches it in real time, grabs the customer's email, and immediately sends out a personalized thank you message. It's totally seamless, super professional, and 100% automatic. Okay, example number 2. This is something almost all of us have dealt with. Online forms. You know, for signing up, for surveys, for contact pages, all that stuff. Think about it. Someone fills out your Google form or Typeform. The second they hit that submit button, all the data they just typed in gets sent straight to your webhook. Your workflow then takes that info and bam, adds it as a brand new row in a Google Sheet. And the best part? No more manually exporting CSV files and importing them. The data just appears right when it happens.
And for our last example, let's get a little more interactive and talk about chatbots. This is really what makes modern bots feel so quick and responsive. When someone sends a message to your bot on, say, WhatsApp or Telegram, that message doesn't just hang out somewhere. The app immediately forwards it to your webhook. Your workflow can then instantly analyze it, is it a question, a command, and fire back an intelligent reply. That real-time conversation is only possible because of the speed of a webhook. Okay, so by now you're probably fired up and ready to build something awesome. But before you go live, there's one super important thing you need to know about how these webhook nodes work. We've got to talk about the two different modes, test mode versus production mode. This chart lays it out perfectly. Think of test mode as your playground. It only listens for data after you manually click Execute Workflow. This is perfect for when you're building and testing, just making sure all the data is coming through correctly. But once you know it works, you switch over to production mode. This mode is the real deal. It's on 24/7, always listening, ready to catch data even if your computer is off. So, test for building, production for running. So if we had to boil everything we've covered down to just one single sentence, this would be it. A webhook node is a special URL that lets your system receive data instantly from anywhere and automatically start a workflow the moment something happens. It's the critical bridge that connects an event to an action.
And that pretty much wraps it up. You now know the what, the why, and the how of webhooks. They are the key to building truly instant automations that react to events in real time. So the only question I have left for you is this: with this power at your fingertips, what are you going to build first?